This is your daily news report and your third stimulus check update and your stimulus package update as of Tuesday, February 2nd. To bring you up to speed on the third stimulus check and the stimulus package, 10 Republican senators are trying to convince President Biden to agree to a smaller stimulus package. Those 10 Senate Republicans, they want something more targeted, including smaller stimulus checks and reduced unemployment benefits. Biden met with those senators yesterday for 2 hours. The senators, they said that the meeting was productive and cordial. President Biden is working on releasing the funding that was allocated to Puerto Rico after they were hit with back-to-back hurricanes in 2017. Congress approved $60 million in aid, but the Trump administration, they held back most of it, citing claims of corruption within the Puerto Rican governments. Biden's press secretary told reporters it is a priority for this administration to release this funding. We are working to do so. The at-home COVID test will soon be available in the United States. The White House reached a $230 million deal with the digital diagnostics company Ellume. The company's test kits, which were approved by the FDA in December, are expected to cost around $30 each. According to Biden's COVID advisory team, the tests, they can detect the presence of the COVID virus with 95% accuracy in just 15 minutes. This is your Tuesday news, and I hope you're having a very nice day. Yesterday evening, President Biden met with the Republican senators who proposed a smaller stimulus package, similar to Biden's plan. The proposal from the senators includes billions of dollars for COVID testing and vaccine distribution. But that's where the similarities end. Their plan leaves out state and local government funding, which is one of the most important aspects and items to the Democratic politicians. Additionally, the senators are proposing $1,000 stimulus checks for people making $40,000 a year and under. They also want to keep the federal unemployment benefits at the current rates of $300 a week through June 30th. In Biden's plan, the federal unemployment benefits increased to $400 a week until the end of September. According to Senator Susan Collins, the 2-hour meeting was a very good exchange. She said, "I wouldn't say that we came together on a package tonight, but we did agree to follow up and talk further." Collins did not provide details, and all the other senators, they refused to comment. So unfortunately, there are no further details that I could tell you about that meeting. Regarding President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package, the congressional Democrats are trying to make progress as quickly as possible. Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer both filed a joint budget resolution, which is the prep work that is necessary to pass the $1.9 trillion stimulus package as a reconciliation bill. Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, also rejected the stimulus proposal from the 10 Republican senators and said Congress must pursue a bold and robust course of action. It makes no sense to pinch pennies when so many Americans are struggling. The House of Representatives is planning to vote on the budget resolution tomorrow. As for the Senate, Schumer has not confirmed when they'll be voting on the resolution. It is important that this gets completed before Trump's impeachment trial, which starts next week. At that point, the Senate, they will need to devote 6 days a week to the trial, and there's no indication of how long the trial will take. So let me summarize for you the Democrats' game plan in passing the stimulus package. So they're going to be using reconciliation to pass the stimulus package because there's no way that they can get 10 Republican senators to vote yes to a $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. So the game plan is to have all 50 Senate Democrats vote yes to the bill. 50 Senate Republicans are expected to vote no, so it's going to be a tie, 50-50. Then the Vice President, Kamala Harris, will cast the tie-breaking votes. She'll vote yes, and then the stimulus package will pass. But you know what can ruin this whole game plan? Senator Joe Manchin. Senator Joe Manchin is the only Democrat senator that might vote no. If Manchin votes no, he can single-handedly ruin the whole reconciliation attempt because without his votes, the Democrats would only have 49 votes. Senator Manchin has openly spoken out against the $1,400 stimulus checks, as well as the Democrats' plan for using reconciliation. Manchin said about reconciliation, we need to work together, and that's not a way of working together. This is actually a real concern, which is why it prompted President Joe Biden to reach out to Manchin to make sure that he's on board with the rest of the Democrats. If you're enjoying this news summary, please be sure to subscribe. I try to present this information to you nice and simple to bring you clarity, and I thank you so much for your support. In political news, Trump has officially hired David Schoen and Bruce Castor as his new legal representation in his impeachment trial. Trump's former legal team, they quit because Trump insisted on mounting a defense based on his claims of election fraud. Trump's new lawyers, they have convinced Trump to go with the defense that impeaching a former president is unconstitutional. This is seen as his best defense because the US Constitution has no explicit instructions for impeaching a former president. In fact, this is the main issue that the House of Representatives is tackling in their pre-trial briefing. The House submitted their legal brief in which they argued why the Constitution allows for Trump's impeachment. Their brief also accuses Trump of inciting his supporters for months and encouraging them to launch an attack against the US government. In spite of these accusations, there is no denying that Trump is still immensely popular with the Republican voters. That's why the majority of Republican senators are refusing to convict him, which makes it unlikely that the Senate will get the 67 votes needed to convict him. The Senate is also pressure to wrap up the trial quickly, perhaps in a matter of days, so that they can focus on Biden's other goals, like stimulus relief and confirming his nominees. But that depends on many factors, including the number of witnesses that will be allowed and the types of questions that will be allowed. So we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. Regarding the COVID-19 news, experts are warning that we're going to see a surge of new COVID cases in the United States in the upcoming weeks. They're blaming the mutated strains, which are more infectious. The UK strain was first identified in the US back in December, but it is believed to have been around since October. Experts are saying, according to that timeline, there will be a hurricane of new cases, with the UK strain being the new dominant strain in the US. The CDC urged the states to give out as many first doses as possible instead of holding on to second dose reserves. That way, as many people as possible will have at least some form of protection, which will slow down the spread of the virus. In the United States, we reported 130,759 new cases and 1,881 fatalities on Monday. This is according to Johns Hopkins University. In current events, Dustin Diamond, also known as Screech from Saved by the Bell, died yesterday at the age of 44, just 3 weeks after he was hospitalized with stage 4 lung cancer. The Reddit stock boom has moved on to silver, which rose to a price of $29.06 an ounce, marking the largest one-day rise since 2013. SpaceX, Elon Musk's space exploration company, announced that they will be launching a charity-focused space mission. A 4-person crew will spend 5 days orbiting the Earth, and you can win a ticket. If you donate $10 to St. Jude, then you're entered for a chance to be selected to join them. The trip is scheduled for late fall or winter of this year. Despite an awful year in 2020, many Americans, they still found a way to give back. 70% of Americans made an average donation of $348 last year. That's an 8% increase in the number of donors compared to 2019, when 62% of Americans donated to charities. More than half the donations, they went to healthcare-related organizations, followed by animal rights and religious organizations. That's the news for today. If you enjoyed today's report, please subscribe. I thank you so much for your support, and I wish you a very nice day.